Welcome back to the Psychological Paradigm Shift Podcast. I'm Ed Rieger, your host. I hope you found the last episode informational and helpful. Always remember, I am only providing my personal opinions based on my experiences and education on psychological topics. We will be talking about mental illness in a very blunt and transparent manner. The topics may be disturbing to some, and it is never my intention to hurt anyone, only to share my ideas and thoughts. Tonight, we're going to cover, in this episode, relationship histories and the questions you may want to ask your potential partner. When dating someone with psychological issues, knowing their relationship history is going to be very important. It will give you the insight you're looking for in knowing what their activities have been, what kinds of commitments they've made in the past, what kinds of behaviors and thought processes have gone into the way they have lived through romantic relationships. You need to get a picture of what you may expect from them in your relationship. You will get to see how they've evolved if there are multiple relationships, or have they repeated patterns that don't show any evolution on their part. It may show you the kinds of people they've associated with and dated and are possibly married. You need to look carefully at the timelines of their relationships, the commitments in these timelines, and where they are currently as they reach ages 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 plus ages. You will see that some of the activities they've engaged in have been dangerous. They could have been physically harmed or worse. They were not and have not been concerned with communicable diseases. They may not even been concerned with unplanned pregnancies. Okay, let's get started with some of the questions you want to ask your potential partner while you're dating. At what age did you start dating? You need to get a sense of this timeline, especially if they started in their early teens and if they dated seriously, especially if they dated older people in their teens. This may be a red flag as to the boundaries they and their parents and guardians had or didn't have. When I was 16, I was dating a 21-year-old. I know many teens that have dated older people. Of course, the legal system believes this is statutory rape, but no one in my family thought that. They were perfectly fine with me dating adults. How many dates do you have a week, month, or year? Have you ever had sex on your first date with someone? Most first dates that I've had ended in sex. Usually, if they didn't, it was the last time I had dated them. How many dates do you have before you engage in sex? Usually, I've had one date, or very shortly thereafter. How many one-night stands have you had? Most of my dating life was one-night stands. I was not much one for commitment. Have you had multiple partners in your one-night stands? In your one-night stands, have you had sex with same-sex partners? Have you ever had immediate casual sex? I've had sex after meeting someone in a hotel hallway. How many times have you had immediate casual sex? Have you had sex with an opposite partner or same-sex partner? How many long-term relationships have you had? Now, you're going to begin to see their level of commitment here. If they're in their mid-20s and older, why haven't they had a serious relationship yet? What has been the reasoning? What has your relationship length been? If it was less than 6 months, can they consider that a long-term relationship? Who broke the relationship or relationships off and why? This is a very important question. You will now be able to follow to determine quite a bit about them or the kind of person or persons they've been involved with. Have the breakups always been from the person they've dated, or have they been the one to break up? Or was it not a consensual breakup? This will also show you if your potential partner may have the ability, to change past behaviors and learn different relationship conditionings. Was marriage ever talked about? Have you ever been engaged? You need to know if they have the ability to make a permanent commitment. How many times have you been engaged? This, of course, may tell you that if it's more than once, something may be going on with them. At what age was your first marriage? This is a big red flag if it is under 18. It's funny, in the U.S., the age of consent for marriage is normally 16. Some states, it's 14. Of course, a parent has to approve, but the laws are on the books all over America. When was your second marriage? Your third marriage? Your fourth? If you're getting an answer for this, then you may have some serious issues that you should stop and wonder about. Will I be number 5? How many children do they have? The average birth rate in the U.S. currently is 1.5 children per women 15 to 44. You need to know how many potential stepchildren you may be responsible for in the future and the many psychological minefields you may need to address. Are these children the same from the same mother or father? Are there more than one? You can now begin to gauge how many personalities and potential complications that you may need to be addressing from stepchildren, multiple in-laws, multiple exes, partners and spouses, multiple children from the exes and their partners. We've talked about these complications before. And do you still have a relationship with your exes? If they had children, then they don't really have a choice. Unless they or the exes have abandoned the relationship with their children altogether. And with families with psychological issues, you will hear, I hear this a lot from different people. I haven't spoken to my kids in 10, 20, 30 years. They just don't want to have a relationship with me, or my ex turned them against me. As you get older, you hear this all the time. You can hear it from siblings, coworkers, neighbors, friends. It's one of those statements that is definitely a red flag. Do you have stepchildren? We covered this and the next few questions before in the family history, but I think mentioning them again gives relationships a different context when you see how they can and will affect your current romantic relationship. How many stepchildren do you have? Do you still have a relationship with your stepchildren? With all my stepfathers and multiple boyfriends my mother had, I have never continued any relationships with any of them ever. How often do you associate with your stepchildren? What kind of things do you do together? I have never associated with any of my step parents or step boyfriends. I have never done any activities with any of them as an adult. I don't know their location in this world, and they do not know mine. What you're looking for in these questions with the person you're trying to create a long-term romantic relationship with is the ability to make substantial commitments that will last through your lives together. You must see their attitudes to dating, sex engagements, marriages, exes, and children. All right, let's go ahead and end there. Uh, Next week we'll cover job history, uh, and I want to thank you for sharing time with me tonight. I hope this information was helpful as we progress through the paradigm shift, psychological paradigm shift. Remember, you can go to the website, psychologicalparadigmshift.com, and I'll post any updates when I have them. And you can sign up to receive future information about events that will be coming up. And I look forward to next week's episode with you. Take care of yourselves.